In a cramped city apartment, Nhung hunched over her laptop. 10 at night, the honking outside never stopped. She muttered through deadlines, forgot dinner, forgot that 3 months had passed since her last call home. Just then, her phone buzzed softly. A message from her mother. Only a few words. "This weekend I'm cooking sour fish soup. Come home if you can." Nhung read it again and again, her fingers frozen over the keyboard. The message echoed in her mind. Nhung remembered childhood. Every weekend afternoon her mother stood by the wooden stove. The smell of tamarind, of fresh fish, filled the old wooden house. Mother would cook and watch the gate, waiting for her child to come home. Tears welled up. Nhung shut her laptop and stuffed clothes into her backpack. Deadlines could wait. Her mother had already waited 3 months. She caught the late bus home, clutching her bag the whole way. That morning, in the small kitchen, Mrs. Hang stood there still. She sighed softly, placed the fish on the cutting board. She thought her daughter wouldn't come, but she cooked anyway. All mothers are like this. They keep cooking. Whether the child comes or not, they keep waiting. Suddenly a motorbike stopped at the gate. Then the familiar voice. "Mom, I'm home." Mrs. Hang dropped the knife on the cutting board and ran outside. Nhung stood there, hair messy, eyes red, and wrapped her mother in a hug that wouldn't let go. At noon, the meal was laid out on the porch. Steaming sour fish soup, a plate of boiled greens, chili fish sauce. Father Tin sat quietly beside her, picking out the best piece of fish for his daughter. Nhung took the first bite and could not speak. Mrs. Hang told stories about the village, about the hen that had just laid eggs, about the guava tree heavy with fruit in the garden. She laughed with a toothless smile, her eyes glowing with small joys. Nhung looked at her mother and saw her fur had turned whiter since the last visit. After the meal, Nhung took her mother's thin paw. The paw that once held her, that once scooped her rice, was now lined with veins. She pulled her mother into her arms and whispered, "I'll come home more often. Don't worry." Mrs. Hang only smiled, saying nothing. In the afternoon, Nhung had to catch the bus back to the city. Mrs. Hang packed a full bag, fish sauce, a jar of fermented paste, a packet of ginger tea. "Take it and use it slowly, or I won't rest easy." Nhung took the bag, heavy in her hands, heavier in her heart. The bus pulled away. Through the rear window, Nhung saw her mother still at the gate, waving. Her small figure faded behind the bamboo hedge. Tears fell onto the bag on Nhung's lap. Inside it was home itself, her mother's love, and all the years she had forgotten. That night, back in her apartment, Nhung opened the bag. The scent of sour soup, of fish sauce, of home rushed out and made her sink to the floor crying. She understood. That small meal was not just fish and greens. It was a mother who had quietly waited for her whole life.